Yeah.
Yeah. We all say the hell with the flu shot. Not me, bro. Yes, and I actually look, I actually caught the flu, right? It was like this though. It was good. It wasn't nothing. Yep. So you get that cross help. You know what I'm saying? They might not get the right formula, but my immune system. You know what I'm saying? Might have caught me. Jump back up. Hold on. What's that?
Yeah. 2 days. 2 days. 2 days. That's all it took. I was back in the game.
Yeah, we live though, man. Good to have you on here, Mr. Cedric, man. Good to see you up and running. Appreciate that, man. Building, man.
Black African power. Pseudo Killas on deck.
We here, man. We definitely here, bro. We in the building. Boy, oh boy, we in this building. Yeah, you saying? People in here, man. Boy, I see you. Eric Ishmael, what's up with you? What's up, B? Keisha, right? Huh?
I said peace to the chat.
Yeah, peace to the chat, man. We just want to get some content going, man. I know y'all gonna be checking out the Super Bowl and football and all that, and then watching the nonsense. But one thing for sure, man, our supporters, man, they definitely get back to the downloads. So that's all I actually care about. If they get back to the downloads, Cedric, you know what I mean?
Yeah, appreciate all the support. The numbers are consistent. But tell your friends, hit the like button, hit the share button. But again, we're in that selective space where we're that 5%. So you're never going to expect to see mega huge numbers on this side of the conversation because we don't do such and such. We don't do the smart.
I'm talking about such and such and them.
Such and such. Around here, we don't call names. We say such and such.
We gotta be mad at you. Definitely gotta be mad at you. Say something about you. But as long as we don't say nothing, there ain't gonna be nothing. Because that's what I'm saying. And my thing is, baby, create content. Not off of somebody else's. Like I don't gotta follow people and try to get. I don't gotta do none of that. I think the content we have is strong enough. And we want to repeatedly repeat things at times and make sure that people got it, man. And just have fun and watch people jump out the window, man. So we got people jumping out the window, man. Shout out to Smash Rockwell's, man. He be having a panel of pseudo sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So this particular show, you know what I'm saying, is addressing the pseudos on Smash Rockwell's channel. Absolutely. Got to do it. You know what I'm saying? They be thinking they be having me surrounded. No. I'm like Ramses in the Battle of Kadesh. You know what I'm saying?
That to the pseudos, here's the new heroes. God kid a pseudo killer. No more pseudos.
Hey, when we see the title of the show, right? The title of the show, Pseudo Enablers. Why play with the truth? Yeah, Pseudo Killas on the case, man. So we got a lot of people playing with the truth, playing around, yada yada, being nice, let them out. I call Smash Rockwell a pseudo enabler. You know what I'm saying? He let them get away with that. I can't do it. You feel me? Like I'm not, in actuality, man, Smash always been like, you got to really offend him for to finish you off. But he let everybody. Everybody got to run their thing where they run their thing. But I ain't doing it. Like when you come on here, man, have your source in hand, right? And I'd rather not fight people with their opinions because then it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. I'm not letting you get away with certain things. It's just not worth my time for me. But everybody got to show, Smash got a certain way he do his business. Sarnetta got a certain way he do his business, but I definitely have a no nonsense policy. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Sarnetta and shout out to Smash Rockwell. You see, when it comes to Kemet, and the actual studying of that history, Smash don't let nobody get away with nothing. He'll be on your head quicker than quicker than white on rights. However, he never makes any claims about the realm of science. And so I can understand that he doesn't give the pushback like we do. So like earlier today on Garfield show, saw some gentleman trying to equate energy to God. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop him. I'm going to explain methodological naturalism, not kill that conversation right there. But you have to be grounded and fully rooted in science to entertain those arguments. And if it's not your subject, I can understand Smash taking a step back and just allowing guys to have their opinion. But that's why the pseudo killers are here. I see you.
Yeah, see you. Definitely see you. Definitely see you. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start some trouble. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a declaration right here. Let me do this, right? I'm gonna get the week started right. All right. Let me see who we got in here if I make a sound declaration on where my stance gonna be. And I'm gonna plant my flag right there. All right. I'm gonna plant my flag right there. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna plant that pseudo killer flag. Right? Few items I want to talk about today. All right, 37 people. Can we at least get, let me see, Super Bowl, maybe 45,
Smash
50
the like button.
Yeah, smash that like button, man, before we get started, man.
Smash the like button. Get those
Late
37 likes all the way up.
Tony Yoshi. Yeah, what's up with you? What's up, Bing? What's up with you? Who else we got here? We got Tony. Oh, I got my people right here, man. I see you. Scott, how you doing, Mr. Cross? How you feeling? Always glad to have you in the building.
Peace.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see. Add manager. What's the, you got two different things here. We got manager, standard moderator. What's the difference between a standard moderator and a manager? Huh. We don't know.
I don't know.
Explode. Boom. 44. Come on, yo, give us 5 more, man. I'm gonna make sure I throw that cash app in there too.
Get them likes all the way up.
More rock.
Smash the like button, interact with the program, gets the algorithm going. Let's go, family.
Yeah, they're coming in. There's something I want to do this. I want to do this and I'm going. Some things you just gotta do because you gotta do it. So I want to do this. I want to put everybody right here for a minute. All right. And first, I'm gonna start off with some cuisine. We're gonna do that. All right. Start off with a little cuisine here. And we was having a conversation on definitely one of my favorite shows, the Smash Rockwell show. That's like one of my favorite shows. Absolutely. There's no getting around that. Super intelligent brother. All right. But there was a conversation we was having about chitlins. Very interesting. And we was all raised around it, chitlins. And by the time you get to the conscious community, chitlins is slave food, poor man food, and that could be all those things, right? And actually, a good friend of mine. First of all right, we had that number. Let's see. Let's get this started, man. Black African power was good, was happening. A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's the pseudo killers on deck. Look, we come to do what we got to do, and we're going to do what we got to do. We stand and tall, we stand and strong, pseudo killers on deck. Hey, Cedric, man, the scientist, man. What's good with you, man? What it do?
What it do, what it do, what it do. You know what we always say, scientific literacy is the vaccines against the charlatan, the hustlers, and the fakers in the community. Death to the pseudo killers on deck.
Man, all the way, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. We got Kent easing up in the building because his team got knocked out, didn't even make the playoffs. So I know you sneaking up in here because your team ain't in the Super Bowl. And he can't hear me because he ain't got his system fixed yet. So don't worry about it. He can't hear. He can't even talk right now.
I can hear. I can hear you. Can you
loud and clear.
Yes, sir. What's going on,
Ken?
What's up, Clark?
Looking good.
And I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying? I think I'd tap in for a little minute.
Oh, we tapping out. We're gonna all tap out at the same time. You best believe this. Best believe. Yeah, we will not. We will not be here half the day, but we're gonna definitely get some content in. It's important for us to get that in. All right. And so, you know, we be having the regular conversations. Okay. I don't even think I have a few statements made. Okay. What I definitely want to do first is, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm throwing out the challenge. Anybody think they're meta nature scholar, right? You play the meta nature scholar. We got some people that I respect with the meta nature, like Brother Smash and you know, Reggie. But at this point, it don't matter because I don't think, right, that the people I respect with the meta nature can get past this. I don't think they can do it. There's a few reasons why I don't think they can do it. First of all, I don't think they can do it because there's actually not a lot of text on the subject, might not be none. There's not real true understanding of the ancient Egyptian religion. That's first of all, right? It's just not. So if you think you practicing the ancient religion, how? They barely understand it, right? And if they barely understand the experts, then I'm trying to figure out how is people to understand it. How do they think they understand it? And let me get back to the meta nature scholars in the community. My declaration is that the ancient Egyptians practiced ritual human sacrifice. To this, I'll stand on that, and I don't think none of y'all can get away. I don't think none of y'all can get past that. Matter of fact, I know you can. And I'm gonna stand on that right there. I'm gonna say it one more time. That Nile Valley Africans practice human sacrifice. Simple as that. I'm not stuttering with my words. I'm not halfway saying it. I'm saying it. Now, let the games begin. This is where I'm at. Simple as that.
I'm warning y'all.
I'm standing on it. I'm daring you. I dare you jump out the window. I got you. I got 10 years of homework. There. Now, there's a reason why I studied human sacrifice. It's the reason why I studied culture at 160,000 years, right? Because I wanted to know how did humans reach their conclusions, how to get there. So if I stand on the fact that some of the oldest traditions are human sacrifices, I'm standing on it because this is what early humans just did. It was part of what it was. Sacrifice humans, animals, all the above. And as they transformed their environment, certain things played out. Certain things started to be unsocially acceptable. Simple as that. So if I'm standing here telling y'all that the kingship of the Nile Valley started in the southern portions of Egypt, in the southern portions of Nubia, in the southern portions below the first cataract, then I gotta go with human sacrifice. Because this is the origin of Nile Valley kingship. The place where you find human sacrifice based off of dying with the king is the place where you'll find the origin of, quote unquote, that kingship. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. If I'm sitting here and I've been saying it for 2 years in a row, see, that's always been my checkmate piece. If I'm sitting here saying that the oldest kingship you find in the Nile Valley is below the first cataract in Khartoum, and those particular areas, right? And I know with the kingship, part of the ritual is people dying with the king, right? Then if I'm not accepting that, then I cannot accept the fact that the kingship come from there. You can't say the kingship come from there, then erase all the rituals around it. We are African Americans, and sometimes we just can't take it. Most people want to play African in America. When it comes to them sacrifices, they get weak at the stomach. There's a lot of blood when it comes to sacrificing goats. The average African American stomach will turn. You ever seen a shrine? Bloody. Ever seen it for real? Bloody. You ever smelt what it smelt like? Bloody. It's part of ancient African custom and traditions. But this charge ain't just in Africa. You find this globally in a lot of different cultures. You find it in Japan. You find it in Europe. You find it amongst the Vikings. You find it amongst the Assyrians. You find it amongst the Mesopotamians, the Sumerians. You find this. Dying with the king is what it was. And then later generations will actually parlay and be like, you know, like a group of individuals like us watching, so we like, I ain't down with that, dude. Hey, Kent was my man. He was the king. But you know what, yo? Man, I love my babies more. No, you do it. I ain't doing it. And they decide to take and the next leadership, you know what I'm saying, break the rule and don't do it. And we can actually see this progression in Kemet, right? We can actually see them breaking away from that most ancient tradition. So it's no doubt you can see in the most ancient traditions in the Nile Valley, specifically Kemet, that after that first dynasty, they started to actually move away, right, for what they call retainer sacrifices. Now, here's the joke, ladies and gentlemen. Watch the joke. When it comes to the Egyptians, it's retainer sacrifice, right? But when it comes to those people in Khartoum, in the Sudan, it's human sacrifices. Always trying to protect the mixed dudes. Always trying to do it. Let me show you something how they play the game. This is how they play the game at the highest level. They do you like this. I find it to be very interesting. Wow. Here you go. Let's go to Harvard. We just starting. We ain't doing nothing hard. Just a touch 'em upper. We ain't even gonna talk about Kemet. I just wanted to make that declaration because I know we got some Meta-Nature scholars, right? Reggie, Magi. I can get them real interested in it, and they'll dive out the window, dive.
Can I show off my smash lessons? Desharet, red man, Kemet, Kemetiu, Egyptian. Why is that translation done like that? That was Smash's last build. That was powerful though.
So this is what we're gonna do. We ain't gonna swing too hard at the Magi. He'll come back with a vengeance. We don't want to come back with a vengeance. We want to come back easy. So you got Harvard Museum of Ancient Near East. It says human sacrifice. It don't say retainer sacrifice. It says human sacrifice and power in Kerma kingdoms. Nobody will debate you on this. That in the Kerma society, they practice human sacrifice. They buried the animals with the king. They buried the subjects with the king. They buried enemies with the king. They did that. That's exactly what they did. There's no doubt about that subject. So nobody will argue with you with that. But yet, people will make the claim that maybe the Egyptians didn't do it. So you can't have it both ways. I'm gonna force you to choose. Go get this. There's some video behind this, right? Go watch it. It's fun. Very, very interesting. We didn't source stuff. All right. This is the beginning. This ain't the nada. We starting off with Harvard. This is what we doing. Right? We ain't even talking about Kemet. Does anybody dispute that in the Nile Valley, 6,000 BCE, 7,000 BCE, right? That you can find subjects buried with the king. Anybody disputing that? Yeah. Location, Geological Lecture Hall, 24 Oxford Street, Cambridge. Yeah. There's a lecture here on this. All right. Now, them dark-skinned dudes, super dark-skinned dudes, they say they practice human sacrifice. When you start moving up a little bit, move up a little bit, all of a sudden it's a retainer sacrifice. Trying to figure out what's the difference, what's the game they playing, what's the European twist they doing, right? Because they gave so much credit to Kemet, right? And they was always trying to bash, you know what I'm saying, the Southern population. This is for certain, and this is for sure. It's the same thing. Why is dead people buried around the king dying on the same day? I don't know what you want to call it. Just call it, they all died on the same day. Maybe they ran around in Kemet and found people that died at the same day and threw them and buried them at the same time. Maybe that's it. I don't care what you call it, but let me show you what the archaeologists, and I got the game film. The archaeologists say, well, when you lean over there and look at it, you like, that's a human sacrifice. I don't care if you can find the word. Hold on, I don't care if you can find the word. I don't care if it's a word. I don't care. Somebody died on the same day.
Well, they all got the same cut around the neck.
Same cut. This is a perfect pseudo killer topic, man. Right? Because we even up, we leveled up. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Look, you might, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got some Egyptologists might say, well, yeah, I'm saying we don't know. This is what we do know. They're dead people died at the same damn time. That's what we do know. And I'm gonna leave it to the meta-nature scholars to go ahead and work all that out. But what ladies and gentlemen, we do know. Let me go to the Vikings. Let me get it off. Let me hold on. Let me go. I want to do this first, right? And y'all want to add something to it real quick?
Yeah, I think it's because it was Kemet and they had their king in such high regard. It wasn't a sacrifice, it was more an offering.
Offer dead people, yes, wild enough. Whoops.
They was out of their goddamn mind, man.
Yeah.
See, that's you. That's not me saying that. That's Kent.
Killing good, healthy people for no reason, man.
Not me, yo. That's Kent.
I hope everybody trying to redo, relive that culture today, though. That would be backward shit.
You see, that those are the aspects where the pseudoism kicks in. First of all, we acknowledge that this civilization went through periods of change, and there was periods of complete revolutionary experiences. There was never a continuum from the beginning straight through. The culture does not exist today. It's a dead culture. So what kind of continuity did exist to say that you are doing something that is organic or in line with? On the other side, you acknowledge, no, I'm making this all up, but still use the information to justify what you're doing. So they're all over the place. I don't get it. That's the religious council. I don't say that our brothers Reggie and Smash do the religious thing, but when you hold there's a certain level of romanticism that exists when we hear arguments like Kemet didn't have slaves. Like, no, they were indentured servitude, or they were prisoners. Man, look, we understand how slavery worked in those times, and for the majority of human existence, it was just human capital, human labor. There was no prisons, there was nothing like this. So servitude and slavery was just the system of the day. Doesn't make it any more or any less relevant inchemic specific, in my opinion.
I say this, sir. We in 2023, man. I would hope ain't nobody doing no sacrificing of any kind in 2023. Like cutting the chicken,
Hey, hey, they still sacrifice those chickens. And if you ever seen a ram goat's neck being cut in a festival, okay, yeah. People all in white. The goat comes up, the priest,
yeah. See, we got
a cigar, drinking his rum, blows it in the goat's face, and the neck goes. Yeah, some savage stuff.
See, the one thing I can respect about the Christians, at least they do the symbolic thing, like, you know, the little wine be the blood and then the cracker be the body. They don't, you know what I mean? You ain't got to
symbolic cannibalism.
Exactly. You ain't got to hurt nobody doing that. If they cutting up animals, Joe, something wrong with them.
Boy, you crazy. So let me, yo, you can't even, you probably can't, I doubt if you can't even sacrifice a deer in the city limits, yo. You lock you up for hunting.
You can't even kill a bird. You can't even kill a bird for no reason out here, yo. You run over
Peter,
ducks if you want to.
No, man, they knocked up.
Run over one of the ducks if you want to.
Hey, Michael Vick lost millions, yo, for dog fighting, yo. Remember he had them dogs buried in his house, yo. You go ahead and sacrifice a dog you want for a crazy tradition if you want to, yo. Go in jail.
Yeah,
but so much you can't. It's certain things you're just not allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's real. But I mean, you know, hey, now this is the part I'd like to add to it, right? So it actually has been a human enterprise to do this. And how do we know? Because this is part of ancient man's religion. Like you said earlier, Kent, let me explain this. Christianity is simply an offshoot of ancient traditions. It's a modernized version of it. How do we know? Because, you know, we all went to communion. Literally, we know we were practicing ritual sacrifice right there. We were actually eating the blood, right? Drinking the blood, which was the red wine. You never drank white wine in church. It was the red wine, right? Or Kool-Aid, red juice, that grape juice, symbolic of the blood, and the bread, right? Catholics, they eat the bread. That's what you thought that was. That was the blood of Christ, right? And the flesh. That ritual, you know what I'm saying? It was the ritual we was doing. It was symbolic ritual, cannibalism. You can say what you want to say, right? Yeah. This is from ancient traditions. So we have a modernized understanding, right? And we see it to be barbaric. Yes, okay, but that's not how they saw it. So I'm not sitting up here bashing African culture. I'm simply bringing to light an element of African culture, okay, that later on was seen to be, you know what I'm saying, not in social order. How do we know? Because after around the first couple kings, right, Old Kingdom, which was actually a Sudanese transplant. I'm gonna say this slow, okay? Nile Valley, ancient Egyptians, right, can be considered by certain authorities a transplant from Sudanese culture, Old Kingdom. And one of the ways we can tell it, because they practice sacrificing of human beings when the great king died. That's one of the ways to know it. If you take that away, then how else are you proving the most ancient traditions of kingship in ancient Africa? They did it in multiple places in Africa. This is the way they seen the world. I'm not knocking that. Modernized version of that is the killing of Jesus Christ, symbolically for who? He's actually a sacrifice for humanity, right? In front of the God. Think about this. This is not me. I'm just not making this up. This is right here. This is where the rubber meets the road at, right? So symbolism, custom, traditions. The Vikings did, I'm gonna show you, the Vikings did the same thing, right? And a lot of times it'll be women that they sacrificing. Man, I'm just saying what you want me to say. Look at Viking traditions, right? They chopped horses in half. Oh, they killed cows in Africa, bulls. It's all there. I'm not adding to this. So dive out the window, right? We'll have a great week. The views will definitely be up on this topic right here. So why are you bashing Africa? Why can't I tell about the most ancient traditions that tie the Nile Valley to other Nile Valley Africans? Why can't I talk about the kingship? Right? Why can't I talk about the order of the kingship? I've been saying it for 2 years that the kingship come out of past the first cataract. I've been saying it for 2 years. Now I'm letting loose some of the traditions like body ornamentation. Right? There's certain grave goods you find, you know what I'm saying, above the first cataract and below the first cataract that match up identically. And the oldest such traditions, you know what I'm saying, you find it deeply entrenched in Sudan. Not making this up. That's why I always knew couldn't nobody get past that when I said that. Knew it. Then I wanted to see who got the stomach for the conversation. We want to hear the merry-go-round. Oh, well, you know, they got the crown and it floated out the sky. And no, it's not what it was. These dudes were serious and the kings were renowned. And so as in Viking tradition, before they went to war, people were willing sacrifices. Right? So we have no idea of knowing if they were willing or unwilling sacrifices. We have no idea of knowing. But it was the tradition. Remember now, remember that the state is in charge, right? Over violence. I'll say this again, right? The state has power over violence. Oh, you know, like the police can shoot you as long as they deem it a legal shooting and nobody's going to jail. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Oh, you didn't know that it's something called the what? What do they call it in Georgia, Kent? It's called the death penalty. Mm-hmm. Right? You can commit a crime, right? Get found guilty, right? And you like the way they do it, though. You know, they get you go ahead and get your last dinner. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, we're gonna go ahead and lay you down a nice table. It's gonna be nice and clean. You know what I'm saying? Get your last rice, you know, read to you. We're gonna go ahead and put the little thing in your arm, the IVs in your arm, hook you up. We're gonna make sure all that's right. We're gonna make sure the poison ain't too strong. You know what I'm saying? We want you to go out real easy. We're gonna numb you up, put you to sleep first. Then we're gonna put that poison through you, gonna die. Damn, 5 years later, they realized, man, was innocent. Nobody was in jail for that, though. You get my point. Yes, the state, right? The imperial states, right, are in charge of violence. Oh, you didn't look at the enormous palette? It was head hunting. What do you want to call it? They chopped off the enemy's heads, right? They sacrificed their enemies. Y'all didn't know that? That's part of the deal there. Yeah. So this is not only Africa. This is planet Earth. Right? And that's why we find certain things very grotesque, right? Because these things aren't actually tolerated, but the state is still in charge, right, of the violence. Simple as that. You can see it through, this is not only in the Nile Valley, man, this is everywhere you go. You know, everywhere you go. Go ahead, brother, y'all want to say something?
That point you're making, it always reminds me of something I say: humans will be humans and be human and be humaning all over the world. And if we go to specific times in history, we can see the same activities being done by different groups of people who are not connected. Ritual sacrifice in the Americas, some scholars say, was the part of the downfall of either the Aztec or the Mayan Empire, because they had a human sacrifice to an all-time high. Like, we experience this in other cultures, in other civilizations. We have no problem with it. But when it comes to Kemet or to us, all of a sudden, we didn't do that. I don't get that.
Yeah, we did that. We did that. We originated.
We did all of it.
We did all of it. It's part of being human, bro. You make mistakes, you do things, think things are socially accepted. Homosexuality wasn't socially accepted in America. They didn't even have, it wasn't even allowed to be in an army. It wasn't socially accepted. They was actually the last European nation, right, to actually to make homosexuality acceptable in the army. You know, now there's a movement certain things you can't even, certain words you can't even use anymore. Because now it's socially accepted. Kingdoms change, things go out of date, man. That's a little bit wild, yo. You're gonna judge a person. How about judging a person off the color of their skin? It ain't legal to do that no more. It sure was. It was legal to enslave you. Remember all that? Yeah, things go out of fashion. Things definitely go out of fashion. It's you know what I'm saying? It is, you know, what it is,
The
right?
natural evolution of man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Brother Brendan, how you doing, man? Pseudo Killer official, man. What's good?
Pseudo Killers on deck. Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, fellas? I've been in the crates digging up this information regarding the ritualistic sacrifices and ritualistic burials. So yeah, that's why I'm a little late joining the show, but I think I've got some interesting information to add to the conversation. But peace to the brothers, peace to the chat, and peace to the audience.
Oh yeah, you always got something interesting to add to that, man. We had to jump on it. It's just an important part of what we do over here, man. We give the everyday old layman tools, okay, to be able to navigate their way through their history, right? With the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So I'll come to this work right here real fast. Black Athena. All right, Black Athena, book 2, right? I don't know why I didn't hold the page out. I forgot the name of the page number right here. But in Black Athena, book 2, they have a section. Actually, if you go, let's see, we know the Phoenicians practiced it. You can read it in the biblical text, right? Where they God was telling them not to do it, but they still did it. You know, like if you get your enemies right, Moses kill all the Canaanites, right? Man, that was for the God. Remember that, right? The Midianites. Remember that conversation about the Midianites? Remember Moses was married to a Midianite woman, okay? And they actually helped. And they taught him how to administrate. They was like Moses, one of the kings. Moses was married to a Midianite woman whose father was one of the kings. The Midianites had no problems with the Israelites, but they had their own separate deities. And for having their own separate deities, God told Moses and them to go kill the Midianites, kill all of them. And so they went to war, they defeated them, and they brought back the women and children and stuff, and Moses was mad. Moses said, man, God told you to kill all the women who have known a man and keep the virgin for yourself. So you not only got ritual sacrificing right there for God to kill, they did it, right? Might have been other people, but they did it, right? But it was also, you could keep some kind of weird rule that you can keep the virgins for yourself type of thing. So there's some sexual connotations in there, but it's there. There's no getting around that. Y'all can read it for yourself. Same with the Canaanites. They did it for their God. Same way. When I forget, I'll get that as we go through this conversation, because I know it's gonna be a week-long conversation. I'll get it where in the Bible, a young lady was sacrificed to the Lord. Listen to this. Actually, that for God. Sacrifice the first thing that come out your house. I forget the guy's name. I'm gonna get it. And the first thing that came out the guy's house was his damn daughter. He said, God, let me back up. He said, God, you know, if you help me win this battle, I forget who he was fighting against, right? I'll do anything for you. God say, okay, sacrifice the first thing, come out your house. Now, you know God know everything. So God knew his daughter was going to come out that house. Because God know everything.
Yep.
When the man got back from war, right? First person came out his house looking for him was his daughter. Yeah, we're going to get that to you. Go ahead, Cedric, you about to say something.
No, I was just agreeing. God knows everything. And God asked you to do that. Sacrifice your child.
Yeah.
The Old Testament God, he's a bloodthirsty God. If you go through all the atonement sacrifices, it was ever increasing amount of animals daily. Mm-hmm. And he only wanted the best of it, because you had to give him burnt offering. So God was a savage God who appreciated the smell of burning flesh, aka sacrifices. Mm-hmm. The justification for the activities that we have been witnessing throughout history.
So we come to page 559 of Black Athena. It says, at the beginning of the 12th century, R.A.S. McAllister discovered a tuplet that is, is a cemetery of jars containing the bones of infants. It say it was next to the sacred high place at Gezer in Palestine. It said many scholars have criticized this find. No doubt, McAllister made some major stratificational errors. It say, on the other hand, given the undoubtable evidence such as the discovery brings to the origin of Judaism and Christianity, it say it is not surprising that scholars committed to these faiths who dominate biblical archaeology should be reluctant to accept this finding. It say even without any archaeological evidence from the Levant, it said the case that this type of sacrifice took place there is overwhelming. It say in addition to the finds in Western Phoenicia, reports from Uruk, as well as classical sources, and the above all biblical texts make it abundantly clear that the sacrifice of the firstborn in emergence as a practice, at least in ancient Israel, Moab, and Phoenicia. Goes on to say sacrifice of the firstborn. Yeah, we've heard the sacrifice for the firstborn, right? Like Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
They do it, but they put him on that damn altar, didn't they? God say, nah, don't do that. It say, thus, it is likely that some stage all Canaanite speakers practice child sacrifice. It say, at a symbolic level, it survives in certainly of sacrifices in Yed or Greek. It say only begotten child. Yeah, so yeah, remember Jesus Christ is the firstborn sacrifice son, right? Yep. Am I tripping? Did I make that up?
Nope.
God ain't had no other son, did he?
Nope.
Didn't Jesus get sacrificed?
Yep.
He wasn't on the cross?
Yep.
No. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Y'all wasn't think about that when y'all was sitting in communion. Communion was always the longest Sunday. Communion was the longest daggone Sunday, bro. You sitting there long. Who knew we was actually eating the blood and drinking the blood and drinking the man? Look, okay.
But God killed all the firstborns of the Egyptians. It went in Passover. That's firstborn sacrifice as well.
Yeah, he killed them. They did murder the firstborn. Crazy, right? So yeah, hey, this is in the Phoenicians. They got everybody that did that. So that's not out of the realm of things to think that these quote unquote sacrifices. It goes on to say it should be noted that the Egyptian queen had a physical characteristics of a sacrificial victim, that's Niat, and Tenet may also be connected by symbolic association with the latter. Man, that's a good chapter for y'all to read, man. The Black Athena, man. Y'all ain't know that was there, called Sacrifice of the Firstborn. Whether it's ritual doing it, you know, if you got a ritual doing it, somewhere in remote times they was actually doing it. You can guarantee that I bet you that they wasn't faking.
Yeah, and in terms of some of the archaeological evidence, right? We know in terms of what we see with some of the queens, like for instance, some of the queens that died or that their death predated the king, you would see them actually buried in separate tombs, right? Away from the kings. And this is like in first century or what you call the first dynasty Egypt, right? And that's some of the archaeological evidence there. But if you actually just go back and take a look at the total number of these bodies or what we think are sacrificial sort of burials, we've got about 2,000 of those spread throughout the region. And this is in the first dynasty, right? So we're talking about 2,000 people, right, around the monuments in Abydos, Saqqara, Giza, and all these different places, right? And some of the questions that we end up hearing is say that, okay, well, how do we know that these people didn't just necessarily just die of natural causes and then were buried subsequently in the tomb with the king, right? But we've actually done some physical anthropology or some studies on the bodies, right? So, like for instance, with King Aha, you see he was buried around mostly males, right? And the age of the people that he was buried around, they're around 20 years old, right? From 20 years old to around 25, no later than 25. So there isn't much evidence that leads us to believe that these young males in the middle of the prime of their life died of natural causes, right? And were buried around the king, right? As well, right? There's really not a whole lot of evidence that these tombs just, these burial chambers just laid open for extended periods of time after the king died as well, right? So all of these people, they were sort of buried in either in the same chambers or adjacent chambers or around the area, right? And one of the things as well, here's another question that we end up hearing. He says, okay, well, how do we know the cause of death, right, around a lot of these, what we say, quote unquote, sacrificial burials or these retainer sacrifices, right? Now, it is true, right, a lot that we don't know the absolute cause of death for the overwhelming majority of them, right? But we do have some evidence that leads us to believe, and here's an example, like the skulls from the burials of King Aha. All of those skulls have been examined. This is by physical archaeologists, right? And what they end up finding, and this is a couple of scientists. What they find is a stain underneath the teeth of these skulls, right? There's a pinkish hue or pinkish stain, and what that is, that's a telltale sign of something, right? And if you think about it, right, what in forensics, that is a sign of strangulation, right? Because in strangulation, what happens is when the increased blood pressure, right, in the head actually causes the cells, the blood cells that lie underneath the teeth, underneath the enamel, to rupture, right? And that's a telltale sign of strangulation. And what we know in terms of ritualistic sacrifices, strangulation is something that was done across many different cultures in terms of that, right? Like for instance, there's a practice called sati, where the wife of the king is actually ritualistically killed or sacrificed at the death, and that across many cultures, strangulation was the method that was used, right? And there's other hypotheses that are out there in terms of the cause of death, right? They say, okay, well, it could be poisoning. It could have been strangulation, but what we don't see signs of trauma. They weren't like beat upside the head. They didn't, get piercing. They didn't, get any like traumatic injury like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't know a lot, or anything about the cause of death of these people.
So yeah, there's cultures around the world we can actually go to, that actually talk about that. So my thing here is to show you that because I'm always giving you tidbits on like just ancient religion and what it tells, and how you can just see that Christianity, Islam, and Judaism is a modernized version of these things around the world. Not just taking this custom and traditions from one specific place, but a lot of custom and traditions from religions in that area. And so they made treaties against doing certain things in Christianity, but they still got it in there. Moses makes sacrifices, okay? So what I would like to do is, let me see. I'm gonna show you 25 cultures. I'm just gonna give you a source for this, all right? That practice, quote unquote, human sacrifices, all right? We just come to new science for this. Some easy work, easy, nothing hard, nothing complex, and you just read it for yourself. All right. Okay, so here you'll see, 25 cultures. that practice human sacrifice. Okay. China sacrifice. So we know they did it in China. And we can actually show you where China got away from it, because you can go to some of the graves and instead of seeing humans buried with the leaders, you'll find like quote unquote these figurines, like the whole army is buried, but it's not a real army. Okay. So if you go back far enough, you'll find them burning their enemies, sacrificing their enemies and burning them with the leaders. Okay, like Washati, these small figurines that you find. You can go to Egyptian graves and find these small figurines in there, right? That's taken back from the ways of old, where you actually would have, right, a human being sacrificed with you. All right, so let me keep moving this. Hold on. All right, come on, why? So the city of Ur, we know that. We understand that. This is an image from the University of Pennsylvania Museum, Archaeological and Anthropology. Yeah, they practice human sacrifice. Mound 72. You got the Inca child mummies. There you go. All right. Y'all gonna read this. Mayan sacrifices. We know about the Mayan. We have a problem with that. Aztec sacrifices. Ancient Egypt. Oh, how did ancient Egypt fall on this list? The ancient Egypt on this list? Did they just make that up? Huh. Now, Stonehenge. It's another area. All right. We keep moving. What else? Oh my God, all these. I hate these kind of sources, man. Hold on. Anyway, let me put the link back up there for y'all to get the thing again. 76 child sacrifice victims and their hearts ripped out. Found in Peru, excavation. Yeah, it's all in the archaeological record. There's no need of trying to act like that ain't what it was. Once again, Christianity, right? Judaism, right? Innovations on ancient custom and traditions. And one of the oldest custom and traditions is human sacrifices. Now, the way you choose to look at it is the way your upbringing is. And we look at it as something wild, but back then it wouldn't have been that. That just would have been part of the cultural container. So just like different cultures eat different things, bush meat, they eat in Africa, they eat bush meat, they eat rats, they eat pigs, right? They eat things we don't eat. In China, they eat dogs and cats and all that, and we laugh at them. But we should never make fun of what people eat, because we eat chickens and deers and antelope. We eat all kind of stuff too. Chitlins, yeah, I said chitlins, pigs, pig nose, yeah, all that, right? The point I'm making here is these are people's culture and traditions, and as civilizations grow, certain things are actually, ritualized out of the culture. I mean, they turn to just strictly, symbolic, but they still harken back to the ways of old. But yeah, that's a few quote unquote cultures right there, at least 25 of them. I didn't read all of them, right? They practice that those ritual sacrifices, right? So this is it. I mean, it just is what it is, man. All right. So yeah, and I think you just talked Abydos. That is clear. We couple kings by name did it. All right, and I mean it is what it is.
Yeah, King Aha, right?
Yep.
And King Aha and his successor actually was his Dozier, right? Or Dozier, right? He actually sort of upped the ante in terms of the ritualistic sacrifices that were done around him. I mentioned it in terms of Aha, right? Most of the people that were ritualistically sacrificed with Aha were males, because it was considered like the royal guard. The royal guard was sacrificed around Aha, right? With his successor, right, or his son, it was mostly women. Right. So there was a bit of a cultural shift there. So there was a lot of things going on in terms of the culture and coalescing around this particular activity. Right. So with him, the successor of Aha was mostly women. It was a lot more, in terms of the number, and also dwarves. That was one of the interesting things that I did with some research, because we know that dwarves were something that were very common around the royal court of ancient Egypt. So you see dwarves in the ritualistic sacrifice chambers of Djer. So that was something that was interesting. And you know what? From when you do cultural sort of analysis of this, just around the world, And what you end up seeing, especially in places where this is done large scale, this is in places where you have social stratification, or places where you have a hierarchy that begins to come into place, right? And what the experts tend to believe is that as the hierarchies within society begin to coalesce or become established, is that the ownership or of human bodies or of people sort of come into play, right? The idea that the king or the pharaoh has strict ownership of his subjects, his or her subjects, sort of comes into play. You don't necessarily see large scale ritualistic burials in places that aren't necessarily well established or what you would say equal or egalitarian societies, right? Or less established ones, which I think that's sort of an interesting piece.
So we'll run through this real quick, right? We'll dial it back and go to Wiki real fast and just come strictly to human sacrifices, right? And if you look at the human sacrifices, this article is entitled Human Sacrifices. Yeah, and what the challenge is, go find a continent that didn't do it. How about that? Go do that. Human sacrifices, right? Find a continent. That's the challenge for the listeners today. Find a continent that does not have this. Okay? Human sacrifice are the act of killing one or more humans as part of a ritual, which is usually intended to please or appease gods, a human ruler, okay, an authoritative priestly figure, or spirits of the dead ancestors, or as a retainer sacrifice, wherein monarch servants are killed in order for them to continue to serve their masters in the next life. Yeah. Yeah. Look, closely related practices found in some tribal societies are what? Cannibalism and head hunting. You see them heads right there? They them heads right there. Them heads right there. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we can go to certain Egyptian monuments, not the monuments, we can go to certain palaces and see people's heads chopped off. They just did it. I mean, it was what it was. And we make no bones about that. So you got the Aztecs, we know that. We talked about that. Hold on. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, you even see it written on the walls of Aha's tomb. They have the depictions of human sacrifice in his tomb. So,
oh yeah, they actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got ancient Egypt. We talked about that. Here's a few King Jed. We talked about that. 206. Let me see. King Jed had 318 returned to sacrifice buried in his tomb, and 269 returned to sacrifice buried in the closest surrounding the tomb. Okay, Old Kingdom. And then it talks about Levant. All right, we know that. Phoenicia, know that. Europe, y'all say they was all only in Europe. Y'all would definitely say that. Romo-Greco antiquity, right? No one's getting off the hook. This is part of man's ancient religion. Carthage, Celtic peoples, Germanic peoples. No one's getting off the hook. Slavic peoples, China. Yeah, they're not getting Mesopotamia, Tibet. Oh, not the Tibetan monks. How? Indian subcontinent. Yeah. The niggas. Yeah. Pacific, that being specific. Hawaii, ancient Hawaii. Yeah. Native Hawaiian sacred palace where humans and animal blood sacrifice were offered. Did they make that up? Yeah. Pre-Columbian Americas. North America. North America. You can get to the Mississippians. Watch this. Hold on. North America. Let me see. Mesoamerica with sacrifice. We know that. Pre-Columbian Americas. Hold on. I want to find. Where's that one? North America. Hold on. I want to find the one. Hold on. This is the good one. Okay. Yeah. Peoples of southern United States, known as the Mississippian culture. You know how people say we the ancient Mississippians. All right, and now from 800 to 1600 CE have been suggested to have practiced human sacrifice because some artifacts have been what interpreted as depicting such acts. Mound 72. Oh man, y'all know that. The mound 70, the mounds y'all be talking, y'all be loving. There you go. Okay. So I would like to get to my favorite group. Oh, look, when we here, you see that, Brenda? What I say, Brenda? Maybe I'm tripping.
I see in West Africa. I see it. Okay.
Okay, we know about the home sacrifice still. What human sacrifice is still practiced in West Dahomey in West Africa? Did they say that? Did they say it was still? They didn't say that. Brenda, I misread that. I misread that. I misread that. I actually meant that.
Don't click on those sources. Don't do that.
Chapter 5, ritual cannibalism case study. So, man, Uganda prepares for a new law on human sacrifice. Oh man, Uganda, where child sacrifice is a business. BBC, 2011. Nigeria's hung market. What? Huge market of blood and human sac. What?
Man, they gotta leave that shit alone, man.
No. No. What? Wednesday, February 2023. What?
Yep.
Knock it off.
Yep.
23?
Somebody done messed with my somebody done messed up my computer and put that in there. What? Nigerian huge market of blood and what? Human sacrifice, fetish. Huh? Stop. Is this it?
Pan-African. That's Pan-Africanism right there.
Don't say nothing about
I will play that later. I'm not gonna play that. I'm gonna let y'all slide on that. This is too much for me to bear.
Right, but we got one other location that we can't let them off the hook, Unc. The Caribbean. There's also evidence of you. We had to get you.
Haiti still practice zombification using the puffer fish.
And within the Caribbean as well. So yeah, we see it there.
Yep.
So we couldn't let you off the hook, Cedric.
No. I was gonna seal the circle by admitting that those practices are still happening.
I'm not gonna be able to do that.
They said they still out there. Y'all still out there sacrificing people, man.
I know, and what you want me to say? In Haiti, there is still a tradition of zombification, which is poisoning people with puffer fish. When they tell you they're sending you to the cocoa field, that's some real shit.
Everybody making it, or some people dying behind that?
To get the poisoning effect from the puffer fish, it has to be dried and ground in a special way. And there are only a few shaman, and they are dying out, who know the tradition, but it is still not.
So they ain't getting the strength of the poison ain't that strong. It's just a little. They're gonna feel a little hit, and that's it.
No,
and you know what? And here's just another interesting thing in terms of what I found with my research. In the Native Americans in the southeastern portions of the United States, right? We all know about the idea of the sati, or the ritualistic killing of the wife when the husband dies, but within certain populations of Native Americans in the southeastern portion of the U.S., they actually killed the husbands if the wife actually died, if their death preceded the husband. So there are instances of the husbands being ritualistically sacrificed as well.
Damn.
Yep.
They still doing 2014. Motorcyclists, taxi drivers discovered even force of horror. A decapitated building believed to be used for human trafficking and ritual sacrifice located in the Soka Forest. In Nigeria, Oyo State. Nigeria, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, he was doing too much, boy. Now, that's interesting right there. They got me on this one. Boy, damn, knock it off. This what I want to read to y'all, though. I'm going to get off of it. I ain't messing with y'all, man. You're going to have me trying to get me. Say I'm bashing. I'm bashing. You bash, I ain't bashing Africa. I love to read about all the traditions. Man, goodness gracious, I thoroughly enjoy reading Viking traditions, and they was definitely doing the damn thing. But what I want to read is, right, let me go to retain, let me do this. This is what I want to do for y'all real quick. I want to actually, I want to come here and I want to read some of the Viking traditions, and I want to see if that sound kind of familiar to you. Watch this. Let me go down to this. I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom of here real quick, right? Let's see. Norse, here you go. Funeral of Norse chieftain. Human sacrifice. Somebody actually witnessed that. All right, let's see. Okay, then with the Norse traditions, I want to come to ship burials. Let's see, Ibn Khalid's account. Okay, 10th century Arab Muslim writer. Ibn Khalid produced a description of funerary near the Volga River. Okay, hold on. The summary. Nope, I want to do the summary. let me see. I want to come to real quick. Hold on. Okay, so in this particular thing, it says, thereafter, the closest male relative of the dead chieftain walked backwards. Hold on now, let me see. Okay, so they got these women, okay? It says, then the girls was pulled into the tent by the old women, and the old woman is considered the angel of death, right? And then men started to beat their shields and sticks. It says, so her screams could not be heard. 6 men entered the tent and had intercourse with the girl, after which they laid her onto the master's bedside beside him. It say 2 men grabbed the hands, and 2 men mended her wrists, grabbed her wrists and ankles. You see, the angel of death looped a rope around her neck. That's the old woman. And while 2 men pulled the rope, the old woman stabbed the girl between the ribs with the knife. Thereafter, the closest male relative of the dead chieftain walked backwards naked, covered his arms thus with one hand and a piece of burning wood with the other, and set the ship aflame. Yeah, so, okay. They also chopped horses up, put them in there, okay? And I believe they chopped dogs up. Make sure I got this right. Okay, it say, then cut a dog into and threw half into the boat and placed the man's weapons beside him. It say they had 2 horses run themselves sweaty, cut them in pieces and threw meat into the ship. Finally, they killed the 2 cows, right? A hen and a cock, and did the same to them. This is all with the Viking burials, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna share my screen, right? And let y'all have at it. Just real quick, all right? That's a Viking burial, old Northern tradition, okay? There you go, right here. Y'all can read it for yourself, all right? That's the ritual, funerary mounds, hold on. Grave goods, yep, Norse funeral. There you go, right here for y'all. So y'all ain't thinking I'm not bashing, I'm just telling you what ancient people did, man. This was the real religion. So y'all playing with religion now. They weren't playing. The African American ain't sacrificing nothing. I tried to tell you on that Saturday show I did on Real Black Atheists how it was, you know, sacrificing rams and sacrificing chickens. That'd be a lot of blood, yo. Whole lot. Half y'all stomach could turn. Y'all couldn't even handle it. Yeah, that's real. So yeah, I just want to put, y'all want to add anything else to that, man? Because I know y'all got to get y'all thinking. I'm going to throw the link in here in case anybody want to say something real quick. All right. And
that's some real talk right there. And the fact of the matter is we for some extent hold on to ancient traditions in this modern jacket, because of course nobody is going out killing nothing. even those that practice traditional African spirituality and engage in ritual sacrifices of animals, that is done so deep cover and off the radar because it's not socially acceptable anymore. So you're absolutely right. We playing with religion. We ain't willing to die for nothing. We read, sorry about that, God. We read the biblical narrative and we see, for example, a God and the devil making their bet with regards to Job. And it's no big deal that Job's 20 kids, 10 kids are sacrificed. It's no big deal. God gives him 10 more. So the concept of sacrificing humans and people was a part of human history. We can't deny it, and we can't exclude ourselves in any form or fashion from these things. We want to say Africa first and Black people first with everything else, except the ugly aspect of history. That's disingenuous.
Yeah, you gotta take the bitter with the sweet and just say you don't understand it. Right? You know what I'm saying? People were asking, you had people that were willing sacrifices. So who am I to tell about their culture? Who am I to tell you that your culture is not valid in what you're doing? Who am I to do that?
Right. And in regards to, we talk about the first dynasty, Egypt, right? We have to keep in mind they were in the process of state formation and the coalesce. They were coalescing their traditions, right? And the whole idea, building that idea that the pharaoh or the king was a god figure, right? It was a god on earth. So in that there was several things. It was that conspicuous consumption of material, of physical material, right? They were lavishly sort of surrounded by all the resources of the kingdom, right? But that also bled over into the conspicuous consumption of human bodies as well, right? This whole idea that, you know, they were building this persona of the king as a god figure in royalty that sort of swept into this whole idea of the human sacrifices.
Yes.
And you also have to keep in mind, right, in terms of some of the reasons why they did it, right? So when you do your research and actually look into some of the reasons why, right, they say in terms of like the death of a king, or the death of a ruler, that's also some of the main times inside of a society that it's very dangerous. That's when times of tumultuous upheaval may happen, right? That's when times where you may have like rival factions may come into play, right? Civil wars happen. So to actually sort of quell that and make sure that they had that continuity of culture, right? They build pomp and circumstance around the funerary activities of the pharaoh. And that was one of the ways that they built this circumstance around it, right? So not only did they mourn the death of the pharaoh, right? It was like a statewide mourning as well, right? Because there was a lot of deaths associated with the death of the ruler. So it was a way to keep the culture together.
It's the ultimate sacrifice.
Yep.
Where you at, Kent? Stop watching the game. I know you're not watching that game, Kent. Where you at, Kent? Kent, calling Kent. I hope the gods didn't come get him and sacrifice him. Where you at, Kent? Where you at, Kent? Where you at, Kent? Yeah, I dropped the link, man. If anybody want to add something, we got 90,000 in the building, man. Super Bowl show.
Let me reiterate what Ang just said. Let me turn my camera on. This is by no means.
Yeah, I'm right here, man. My bad. My son was having a meltdown, so I had to help with that real quick. I am trying to watch the Super Bowl, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I ain't blame your son. Yeah. My son was having a meltdown, but beside my son was the Super Bowl playing, and I looked up.
Oh, you know, that was a little bit special because the Chiefs is handling business. But yeah, man, like I say, any kind of sacrifice in 2023 is just ridiculous at this point, man. You know, I don't know if I said in the last 30 minutes, but yeah, like I think the gist of it is what. So what's the contention though? That's what I'm saying. Like, why are we? What's the whole issue with the sacrifices?
I don't know if it's a contention. I don't know. Should be.
People saying that it wasn't it's not no sacrificing going on. Or?
We can find out, ain't we?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna hear it. Somebody
trying,
gonna say something from Kim, and I dare you. I know they're gonna do it. Oh well,
oh, so they saying pretty much like Kemet wasn't involved in none of the sick stuff that was going on.
He was involved. It was involved, and it was imperial government. Like Shaka Zulu was imperial government. Had they reasons, bro. Like we're not gonna make the African the mild and the meek. That's crazy to me, yo. That's ridiculous. Yo, they was humans like everybody else. Yo, they got it in. And the fact that they haven't been able to get it in later, they can't grow. You know, out of the ashes, you grow. It's going to be some kind of contention to make the stuff to grow. There's going to be moving parts. There's going to be humans that don't agree. There's going to be armies going against each other, vying for resources. It is what it is. It's the real world. So if you think they floated across the Sahara, that's crazy. They go for say cool and all that mythology he be teaching out people. Yeah, say cool. What you got to say about that? I know you sneaking hiding in the bushes like this. They hide in the bushes. They don't pop up, they hide. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, come with outdated information. Two cradle theory. The Africans, perfect. Walked across water and they didn't have to eat because the gods gave them the food. And the white god came and conquered them. Crazy to me, yo, the boogeyman. Right, come on, man. Like, I don't like that. I don't like making, you know, I like to understand Africa as being well-balanced group of individuals that did things.
No, if you even read the two cradle hypothesis and the statement it makes, if we just look at West Africa, then how do you explain the Dahomey? Simple question. Warring tribes, warring cultures, it's all over the planet.
Yeah.
On this side of the ocean, in the New World, you have the same geological conditions that existed in Africa. So you have Central and Southern America that is primarily tropical climate with abundance of food and natural resources. Why do you have an Aztec warrior culture? So just based off of understanding human behavior, we see that the two cradle theory has no footing in reality. And you know what is the point? It's a hypothesis that wasn't even developed further. It had no legs, no serious scholarly discourse about the subject. It is just a novelty, idea played with. It has no substance. So to use that in any form or fashion is anti-scientific.
Yeah, and and as well, you have to think that then some of these are early cultures, right? They're learning as they go as well. Like for instance, we gave the example of King Aha, right, killing over 200, fighting age people that would, be very, very equipped to fight in the military of ancient Egypt, right? They were buried alongside bows and all these things and spears, and they did that when King Aha died, but they didn't repeat that again. They didn't repeat it again. They probably recognized that killing over 200 of people that are in fighting age for an army probably isn't a good idea.
Not a very smart thing to do.
At what cost? So they did it to maintain that cultural continuity. Right? That's what they wanted to do, but at what cost? Right. So over time, the ancients, they were sort of learning as they went.
Yeah, they done as all humans do, man. They starting to say the stuff was okay. I think we're doing a little bit too much. Let's just knock it off.
Right.
You know, you just come to that conclusion, you know, when all of a sudden the person gotta die is your son
There you go.
or
The
your
king-
daughter.
That
The king
wasn't a
get
good
coronated the
idea a
next
generation ago once we killed
Ah,
Tommy,
The
right?
new king getting coronated, and all of a sudden he realized that he has no royal guard because all of them died with his daddy. And now for the next 5 years, he's shitting bricks because he has no protection.
Right. And again, right, we're sort of giving our our anecdotes, right? But again, what the successor to AHA was like, yeah, how about we kill all women this time?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Just kill
Nina
the
very
women.
smart.
Wait, let's kill the women.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna kill the men. Oh, okay, we're gonna kill the women. Oh, better idea.
maybe that's
Like,
not a good idea either, right?
Either.
Eventually.
Yeah, so yeah, I just want to let y'all know, man, and how you verify that the oldest tradition of kingship in the Nile Valley is where the oldest tradition is you bury subjects with the king. That is the oldest tradition, and out of that tradition, you get the Nile Valley. My fault, you get the Egyptian tradition, the kingship, clearly, and I'm gonna give y'all a source and show y'all. So it's not, we're not making anything up. We're just doubling down on the goddamn kingship come from the South. I just want to talk about some of the rituals. You know, me and Brendan have talked about it, but we have not talked about the burying of the people with it. We have not talked about that. It's clear pictures. I can clearly show you all the pictures of that. That's easy. You know, that's very easy work there. Very, very easy work. Mr. Q Butter, what's going on?
Y'all killing me with this not understanding of the ether and the connection to the carbonated universe. So I came,
Oh,
I came up here to break it down for y'all.
playing right.
No, I'm dead serious because like what I see going on in the community is that a lot of these scientific brothers come up here, and I done got into it with Cedric before about, you know, the usage of formulas over pictures and us using etymology. Like if you're gonna talk about Egypt, you got to use the etymology of the word Egypt. If you're gonna talk about Anunnaki, you got to use the etymology of the word Anunnaki. It's all gonna bring you back to the ether.
Crazy, yo.
Go in, brother. We don't want to cut your wisdom. We don't want to cut your wisdom.
Honestly,
Dropping knowledge.
my connection to the universe, you can't cut my wisdom, beloved. I'm straight face. I gotta keep straight face.
Duck? Where's the Sahara duck? Y'all don't know about the Sahara duck. Q Butter has the Sahara duck. Kills all the arguments.
He's a sharp one. He's a sharp one, I tell you.
All of them.
Funny.
All of them. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing a lot of studying because today, you know, each day, the ability for us to align our chakras is differently. And there's a lot of people that's been.
Hey, I line up differently.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the deeper understanding.
I keep telling you, y'all drink and consume the sea moss that looks like pasta. You need the red crystallized sea moss because it's in line with your red chakra, which is your root chakra. You see, you guys keep messing it up. I keep telling you.
You got to drink it with dehydrated water. Dehydrated water.
Yeah. If
you
no hydrogen in the water. Should be no hydrogen.
Dehydrated water.
Dehydrated water.
Hey, that's
you need to drink dehydrated water that is sun infused with the sunlight from 5 to 6 in the morning. That's the formula right there. Trust me.
It's simple, man. Simple.
Y'all just don't understand, man. Y'all understand, man.
Don't understand, man. This is simple, man. I up here trying to Scientologize everything, make it all all this mathematics and shit, getting all like I didn't hear one use of etymology at one time. All this like, come on, man. Y'all want to understand the words. If you're not, how you supposed to know the etymology, man? How
can we possibly understand any of this without an etymological breakdown, right?
First and foremost, First and foremost, man, etymology of the word book, etymology of pen, etymology of read. Y'all just using these European words on this European platform and don't even know what y'all saying.
Oh, stupid, yo. That's just how I learned it, yo. Just like that.
That's the starter kit, right? That's the conscious community starter kit.
Right there.
Hey, Cube, get off. Get off. You're bad. I'm sitting here saying,
Oh man.
yeah, we should do that in Malachi. Your class would be like, the biology words, everything. You be like, damn.
Hey, Unc, I was gonna share my sources from the research we did. You make me not even want to show my sources now.
You sure ain't
Source.
got no etymology.
What is that?
You got the etymology.
If
You're
you
not
don't have
referring to the
etymology,
divine source.
delete.
The source is, first of all, if you're not connected to the source, what's the point of having a source?
Oh,
Man, that was deep. That was deep.
He ain't got no overstanding of the subject.
You better copyright that one, Q, because you know they're gonna use it.
Hold on.
Next time we tell them source up, they're gonna tell us we're not connected to the source. So what good is a source?
Hold on, man.
What good
Hold
is
on,
it?
man. One of my good friends told me, what? Why are they gonna take? What? Why can't you just go to the people and study where they came from? They know. I was like, yo, the ancient people didn't really know where they came from. They didn't know. They couldn't understand how the ancient people didn't know.
You wildin', Unc. My great grandmother, right? My great grandmother knew the entire census of all those that came from North Carolina. And she told me that we didn't come from Africa. We came from the ancient pyramids in North Carolina that's over 15,000 years old that the white man doesn't want us to see. Some of the greatest hidden mysteries lie right beyond the border of what y'all call the North and South Poles. That is actually the end of the horizon of Earth.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I won't get too deep. I want them to shut your channel down. I know y'all be. I want them to shut your channel down.
Earth isn't flat; it's an infinite plane. That's what you're saying.
If you define infinite the same way I define infinite, we may not be using the same letter I.
No.
And by the way, Unc, you was cooking when you pulled up the source talking about the Mississippians. You were on to something. You were on to something.
Now, the very shit they claim they come from. Well, okay, bro. Just for the record, yo, they had human sacrifices right there. That matters. Why you talking? Now, how about that? Now you're gonna see black people start backing out real slow. Oh, I don't know about. They're gonna do like this. Disappear on us. They don't want to do that. See, don't nobody want to do that. They always talk about the ancient traditions. Y'all don't want to do the ancient tradition. Y'all playing. Y'all really African Americans bluffing. You don't want to do the ancient traditions, do you? Right. Okay, knock it off. Yeah, take advantage of where you at. Build on the communities here. Understand where you at. Get scientifically literate. Build new customs. Build new traditions. Y'all don't want to do the old traditions. Y'all act like y'all do. You really don't want to. What you got?
I got a feeling that the roles of the Kemetic shrine would quickly diminish.
When Jabari died, somebody got to die with him.
Listen,
you ain't gonna do it.
My grandmother.
Who's gonna die? Who's gonna die with Baba Aru?
Let's see who's gonna take a white bull
Cedric,
into.
we're not dying with Baba Haru. Nobody's going with him.
The way y'all look at death is wrong. Honestly, the way y'all look at death is wrong. First of all, since y'all so smart, is energy destroyed or created?
Oh no, nah.
Like, come on.
No, oh man, so we don't die.
Bite. Energy can neither be destroyed or created. You're
exactly.
Right.
I put in the chat the grand unified electrified carbonated. I can't even say this shit. I'm gonna say it straight. I can't even say it straight. It's easier to copy than paste. I can't even say it straight.
Today, somebody hit me on Garfield today. So energy, right? Like science explains it, can never be created or destroyed, right? So now God cannot be created or destroyed. Oh, wait, hold up, stop. Wait a minute. We got energy. Energy is simply the ability to perform work. You have potential energy You have kinetic energy, you got magnetic energy, you got thermal energy. This is all different forms of quantifiable, measurable substance.
Don't forget
Yes,
don't forget carbonated energy.
What? Oh, you mean
Yeah.
melanin?
Melanin, yeah.
Melanin. Yeah. Dr.
666.
Leila Africa. Dr. Leila Africa, the melanin doctor. So now I'm trying to explain to him methodological naturalism. There is no equating to a God in science. So you're making a claim that you can't substantiate. So how do you equate the two? Well, it was a 3-hour discussion, and we still couldn't get past that simple point that he cannot make that equation.
Cedric, you have to understand, as soon as somebody talks about anything scientific, and when they make the statement, doesn't that sound like X? Kick them off the panel. They're getting ready to make a mistake. Doesn't that sound like what they say in the Bible? Doesn't it sound like what God? No, it doesn't sound like any of that. Stop.
We
kick them off. Immediately kick them off the panel.
Y'all need to be more open. Y'all need to be more open.
We went through every argument of incredulity. We explored every format that you can possibly fit God of the gaps into a conversation, all on the claim that there was no God of the gaps in the argument, and he was not operating from a sense of incredulity. We all don't know refers to black matter, to dark matter, and then turns around and uses science to say that science thinks we don't know. Even if we don't know what it is, we know that there's a there. And this is what science is trying to explain. And he uses an article from a creationist website, one we already debunked on the Pseudo Killas. Same arguments keep coming back. Science is a Big Bang. Cosmology is just a theory. Now, I went in. So he's equating a hunch or an idea to a scientific theory. I mean, we keep doing the same things in the community, and one of these days I am going to call one of the names. Oh, that's a black duck. That's not the duck. We need the yellow duck. We need the Sarah duck.
Nah, but let's just listening to y'all. Y'all clearly don't understand how this works. I'm just listening to you, and that's why I brought up the visual for y'all. I only want to call y'all niggas, but when I don't know what else to call you. If you don't understand this, I don't know what else to call you. What is the water flat? Yes. No. Does the water have waves? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Is the duck floating on the water? There's no gravity.
How is the duck floating on the water?
Because of its blackness, it's absorbing the energy from the sun and using it to counteract the forces of electricity in the water that would magnify and magnetize it towards what y'all call the center.
Well, you sound like Ben Carson. That's
scary. This is simple, y'all. I don't understand how y'all don't get it. That's it on all these shows, talking all this science stuff. It's right there. Is the water flat? Can I get a 1 in the chat if the water's flat?
Water isn't actually flat because of the
now is the water wet?
Oh my goodness! Because of the atomic forces between the hydrogen and the oxygen molecule, what you actually get, if you look close enough, is you get a concave surface
with an edge. Show me a concave lens without an edge. This is simple for y'all. This is simple, man. I don't know how else to decolonize your brains so that way y'all can remove the white man from your mind so you could just see what the God creator put in front of you so you can use with your own. The first principle of science is to do what?
Observation.
Come on, will y'all open up your mind and remove the white man from it and just look at the black duck?
I've been meaning to ask you about that, Q Butter, because being scientifically literate and being a Black man myself, I think that being Black and scientifically literate, that my perspective is that of a Black scientifically literate person. And somehow the information and the conclusion I come up with seem to jive with almost every other ethnicity that engages in the science. So please, can you explain me how I lost my African perspective?
See, the first thing you need to do is give up your African perspective and understand you need to read the Bible backwards. Right? Because most people understand that Genesis is the beginning of the end of Revelation. It's only when you dream you get revealed what the beginning is going to be at the end. So you need to read that backwards, right? We can't hear you, because I know you're going to come with some old scientific pseudo jargon.
Oh, shit.
Here you go. Go ahead, What you...
No, we're gonna take a moment out, man. Shout out, you know what I'm saying, to the channels, man. Real Black ABs on Fire, man. Q, what's your channel, man?
You know, Q Butter, man. Q Butter everywhere. Q Butter.
Q
Butter.
Man, channels, man, that will put scientific literacy, man. Yeah, that's what it is, man. And yeah, man, go ahead and take time out, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe, man. Make sure y'all do that. And then, man, you know, if you feel like, man, if you thought it was a good show, man, if you learned something, man, go ahead and hit that Cash App, man. Let me see if anybody donated to that Cash App, man.
Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video, family.
They asked,
subscribe to Sarnetta Studios, to Sarnetta University, the HOK in Sarnetta Studios. Shout out to Sar. Q Butter be popping it over there. So please go and subscribe to Q Butter's channel, where you can get some real conversation about actual science as well. The formulas broken down, the correct framing of the scientific arguments, and he does it in a way that you understand the foundational stuff, and we build off of that on Q's channel. That also doing some great work.
He lying to you, man. I build on the ether, the flat earth, the melanated universe.
Hey, listen, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you need them subscribers, right?
Yeah, make sure y'all hit Abju where we're in the middle of a commercial and they still talking pseudo-wisms. I don't understand it. They're crazy. Look at them. Right now.
You know, I'm a start some trouble.
Don't start the trouble. Let me finish this. Hey man, make sure y'all go to Abjuwear, ABDJUWEAR. Right, go ahead and get the Pseudo Killas shirts, no religion shirts, sweatshirts. It's still cold out there. Y'all know how we doing it, right? We doing it like this, man. Go ahead, get that, man. You know what I'm saying? Ancient, we taking them tours, man. All right, taking them ancient tours across the cosmos, man. All right, yeah, crafted by nature. Yeah,
yo, I forgot to say, I did a song years ago, man. I don't know if you was one of the people that inspired me to do this song with it, man. I got a song, No Religion. Religion got them tripping. I gotta send you that shit. You gonna crack up when you hear this song. I never put it out, but you gonna crack up when you hear this song. Yeah, yo, I had a whole bunch of like not to say, yeah, I ain't gonna say pro atheist, but I had some like let it go music. I might still put it out.
Yo. Yeah,
we need some of that type of message.
No, man, get that going, man. You know, we're rocking over here for sure, man. Hey, man, Brendan, you want to add something to it before we get about it, man?
No, not really. I will share my screen just briefly because, again, you know how we don't like to come on running our mouths without showing sources, right? So here's one of the sources. I think this was a JSTOR article that I downloaded here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
It says performing death, social analysis of funerary traditions in the ancient Near East and the Mediterranean. Again, this is a really good one because it talks about from a social perspective. I was mentioning, you know, what did it really mean in terms of the ritualistic sacrifices within the first dynasty Egypt. This particular article goes into really good detail in terms of describing that. Right, and coming up with you know, hypotheses that describe it from that particular perspective. Here's another one from National Geographic. Oh, behold a great ancestor, right? And this particular one is called Life and Death at the Dawn of Civil, what says Abydos, Life and Death at the Dawn of Abydos of ancient, well, Life and Death at the Dawn of Egyptian civilization. And it's Abydos is the state under question, right? This one is a very brief one. Again, this is a National Geographic article, and it talks about the cause of death, right? This one is has the source in here that talks about the hypothesis about the strangulation being the cause of death from analyzing the skulls that were recovered by Flanders Petrie from the royal tombs at Abydos or from King Aha. So this was a very good one as well here. So if you guys want to go back and grab this particular source, again, you can pick this up. This is which edition of this? National Geographic, April 2005. Right. Another good one. Let's see here. We have here. Again, I go to a lot of the academic articles. This is a Springer article here. This is the Egyptian pre-dynastic and state formation. Again, right? The whole idea around ritualistic sacrifices and the funerary practice being very important regarding state formation of ancient Egypt. Again, this is a good article. This is by Alice Stevenson. And what else do we have here? And I think this is one from Bruce Trigger, who is one of my favorite Egyptologists. He's the Egyptologist out of Yale University, the PhD out of Yale.
McGill, that's Montreal.
Yep, exactly. And plus, he's also he's highly skilled in Nubianology. It says the social significance of the diadems in the royal tombs at Balana, right? And this is one of the tombs in the south, actually in Nubia, and this is a part of the whole idea of that burial practice, that cultural continuity that we always talk about, right? The burials and the ritualistic burial practices actually bleeding over from Nubia into Upper Egypt, right? So those are the sources I wanted to share, just in case if anybody else wanted to do some parallel research.
Yep.
Yep, and that's what we do. We share sources.
That's exactly what we do. We share sources, and I'll
email these to you. I'll send these to you. They're very interesting.
Man, I ain't even break out the big guns. Don't make me break out the archaeological surveys, right? Don't let me bring in Samantha Kayada, who actually examined the bodies.
Yep. He's one of the archaeologists that actually had an opportunity to examine those bodies, right?
Don't make me do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not trying to do it.
Right. And it actually, these particular articles talk about the difficulties in terms of really examining, the cause of death and all the mystery surrounding the ritualistic practices, right? Because when Petrie actually did the excavations and he sent out he only preserved the skulls, Flanders Petrie, but he sent them out to a lot of different institutions. So not one institution has all of the archaeological remains, right? But as a unique piece to Dr. Kiata, he's one of a very few handful of people that had a chance to observe all of the archaeological evidence.
Facts.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody gonna jump. Somebody gonna feel froggy and jump too soon. I know it. Who will it be, ladies and gentlemen? Who dares to try to jump past the experts? Who shall it be? Hey, look, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Yeah, appreciate being here in the building, man. Hit that Cash App, though. All right, hit that. Support brothers, man. Support the show. Send it out, man. Anybody got any closing words? Kent, you got any closing words? We drag you from that Super Bowl, Kent. Q, you got any closing words, man?
Y'all put the link in the chat. We got the science fair set up in New York City, first Black Science Fair, May 13th, man. You can sign up, RSVP, free to come out. You know what I'm saying? Come out, Black only, of course. If you want to be in the audience, whatever, but to participate, you got to be Black.
Oh man, he just killed the half the son. For no damn reason. Just kill us support. Kill us. You worse than the retainer sacrifice. Hey, where you at, Brendan? Closing words, man.
Yeah, I think that's just about it for me. You wanted me to add some closing again, or I just talked about.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm solid. In terms of that. Yep.
All right, Cedric. What up,
Yeah,
man?
I just want to say humans will human, and we can't exclude anybody from the process of coming to where we are today as civilized, as we continue to develop. I am a moral realist, so I believe I'm under the assumption that morality is a weak force of nature, and as we continue to evolve, our increasing level of humanity is why we see that we move away from a lot of the traditions that we engaged in. We are not looking back in terms of criticizing, but it simply is what it is.
Okay, all right, man. So yeah, like I said, man, I appreciate everybody coming through, man.
Nope.
And Ken, any closing words?
Yeah, man. I just want to tell people, man, stop doing them nasty behind sacrifices out there, man.
Man.
It ain't worth it. It's not healthy, and it ain't doing nothing for you anyway. So just stop. Just stop.
No,
That's a public service announcement from Kent of the Pseudo Killas. Ankh ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, man. Hey, don't get locked up though. Don't get locked up out here trying to do some type of sacrifices with some bulls and some rams. They're gonna lock you out. Mr. Gilmore ain't playing with that. Yeah, if it's hunting season, it's hunting season. Then you can hunt. Anything all that extra you think you're gonna do, you ain't doing it. Hey, just having some fun, man. Appreciate everybody stopping through, man. Let's see, we did get a cash app come through, man. Let me see, man. Let me shout that out, man. Hey, Sadiq, man. Abdullah, boy, appreciate you, man. That's some good looking out right there, man. That's some love right there. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate everybody. So, yeah, just appreciate that period, man. We always want to have good content, man. Sourced up content, so you just can't run through it. You ain't gonna run through it, right? You ain't gonna just run through it. We're gonna come solid, right? We're gonna come with the top universities, black and white. All right, black scientists, white scientists, Chinese scientists. You up against it. Just up against it, man. All right. Don't make us bring out the forensic reports. Don't make us do it. We chilling right now. We're enjoying life, man. Make sure y'all go enjoy the Super Bowl, man. Try to eat some healthy Super Bowl food there. I'm gonna make some hot wings. I don't know if that's gonna be healthy, but yeah, that's what I'm about to do, man. So yeah, man, appreciate everybody in the chat. Black Ray, man. Appreciate you, man. Stupid Amateur Scholar, man. I see you, Black. DeAndre Black, man. Appreciate you, man. Mr. Metro, man. Good sliding through, man. Sunchild, man. Sliding through. When was microevolution tested? Shut up. We definitely have Sunchild in the building. Let me read this. It says, when was, you always got one. When was macroevolution tested and observed with the finches? Now, I'm gonna say this again. Look up finches. Scientists have observed finches evolve. Finches, birds, Charles Darwin finches. Now, look that up. Now, see, got you. Now, and lizards. There's a Harvard professor going for his doctorate program. He was actually studying lizards, right? And a weather front came through and he had to leave. Came back 6 months later and the goddamn lizards had evolved. Now, birds,
mosquitoes,
birds and lizards, if they've shown that.
Mosquito.
Damn, Cedric talking the same time I'm talking. God damn it, Cedric. What's going on? Go ahead, Cedric.
No, I just said the mosquitoes. Remember?
You right? Yeah. Oh, but that's insects. That's animals. That's not him, man. Shut up, Sunchild.
And I see they're beating me up in the chat as well on one of my sources because it had the dirty 13-letter word in there.
What was that word?
Mediterranean.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
One of my sources had the dirty 13-letter word in the title. So they
We're
let
not
me
doing it.
have it. They let me have it on the one source. So that's fine.
Boy, that's funny, yo. That's funny.
Oh boy.
That's hilarious right there, yo. Yo said the dirty word, the Mediterranean. Yeah, but I think we learned what the Mediterranean culture really was there. That's that African and quote unquote Western Asian culture mixed up gave rise to the Mediterranean culture. I think we learned that in detail, man. Yeah. Yeah, but look, man, we out of here, man. Appreciate everybody's support, man. Yeah, you know, we're gonna hit it again tomorrow, man. If everybody around, man. It's all good, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Like and subscribe, man. Scientifically Literate channel, stamped Scientifically Literate, man. Y'all know what it is, yo. With that, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants, man, y'all enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy the Super Bowl, man. They running.